This is United Network News with Sunny Galt, Calen, Kimberly Gogan, and our field messengers from around the world. Here's today's real news.
A massive power outage hit Spain and Portugal Monday, leaving millions without electricity. Spain has declared a national emergency, according to Reuters. Madrid, Andalusia, and Extremadura have already asked the government to step in and take over public order. Traffic lights are out, phone lines and mobile networks are down, and trains and metros are stuck in cities like Madrid and Lisbon. Airports, including Madrid, Barajas, and Lisbon, Humberto Delgado, are closed, and hospitals have been forced to cancel surgeries. The blackout began around midday, causing Spain's electricity demand to plummet from 27,500 megawatts to 15,000 megawatts. Power started gradually returning a few hours later, but it's still a work in progress. Spain's transport minister shared on social media that medium and long distance trains probably won't be running until tomorrow, since they need to be checked out after a blackout. The outage even stretched beyond the Iberian Peninsula, impacting parts of France, Andorra, Belgium, and even Germany. Spanish utility Red Electra confirmed the issue affected the entire region and is under investigation. Early reports suggest it might be linked to a fire in southern France that damaged a high voltage line or a larger issue within Europe's electricity grid. Portugal's energy company REN reported extreme temperature swings in Spain triggered unusual oscillations in high voltage power lines, a phenomenon known as induced atmospheric vibration. This disruption caused synchronization problems across Europe's interconnected power grid. Spain has not yet responded to these claims. For now, officials are working to get things back to normal, but it'll take some time. The exact cause is still being investigated. According to information we received from the Global Intelligence Agency, this event was planned. Mainstream media is saying it's an atmospheric anomaly, and that is partially true, but the Global Secret Space Program operatives took advantage of this situation, which caused more problems. We'll have more details in the upcoming GIA report. The waste management in Cameroon is an old problem that continues to challenge communities across the country. People are demanding urgent action as the growing piles of waste pollute the air and harm the environment and pose serious health risks, increasing the chances of disease outbreaks. In February 2025, Cameroon's Prime Minister ordered officials to create a sanitation plan for Yaoundé within a week. The goal is to quickly improve the city by clearing trash, fixing roads, and restoring public lighting. While some residents are hopeful, others feel it's the same old story, temporary fixes that don't last. Many are also questioning the timing, with elections just a few months away, raising concerns this may be more about politics than real change. Waste in Yaoundé, the capital city, has become a visible and daily problem. Despite having waste disposal companies in place, the situation is worsening due to poor equipment, limited resources, and inefficient management. Streets are often piled high with garbage, blocking roads, causing traffic jams, and forcing cars and bikes to drive over the mess.
Yaoundé is the capital of Cameroon, and given such status, much care and attention is needed in relation to the sanitation and cleanliness of the city. But this is Ekunu, one of the many neighborhoods in the territory where the inhabitants of this locality wake up to piles of dirt at the roadside, giving room for a major concern.
The waste is really disturbing. It makes the population sick. Whenever I am in my workshop, especially when rain is falling, I cannot work properly. People just dispose dirt randomly without care. We have spoken to the council about this issue, hoping for a change. Up till now, my apprentice is still suffering from malaria.
Before sick, c'était une infection. C'était na, well.
We have faced a lot of problems because of this issue. The water carries the dirt that are part of such as containers and fill up gutters, causing mosquitoes to accumulate. I propose that 2 or 3 times a week, the gutters should be cleaned and people should enable to dispose their waste properly.
This odor, gotten from careless displacement of waste, makes my customers uncomfortable, causing my business to slow down.
Waste collection in Cameroon is mostly managed by municipal authorities, with some involvement from private companies. The quality and reach of these services can vary a lot depending on the area. In many cases, informal waste collectors step up to fill the gaps. The country has waste management laws, but their enforcement is inconsistent. Most waste is disposed of in poorly managed landfills, which can cause environmental and health problems. Recycling is still in its early stages, with limited infrastructure and few organized programs. Efforts to improve recycling and waste reduction face challenges like low public awareness and inadequate waste segregation.
Disposing waste in public and anywhere without sorting, because proper recycling waste is to sort out waste, sorting out biodegradable, degradable, organic, and so on. We even have what we call electronic waste, which is not recycled, but some other countries recycle electronic waste, and which normally we are supposed to do that in Cameroon. So the government should impose a tax and follow up gradually to educate its citizens to know how they are supposed to dispose and sort out waste before disposing it off. I think the state should do this.
He also thinks a tax or fine must be levied on whoever disposes of waste anyhow in the neighborhood. But Cameroonians are helpless. They seem not to know where to dispose of their domestic trash, since the Hygiene and Sanitation Company has systematically reduced its passage in various neighborhoods in Douala and Yaoundé to collect household refuse.
In April 2025, Isacam, Cameroon's leading waste management company, delivered 10 new trucks to Yaoundé's mayor as part of a logistics upgrade supported by Afroland First Bank. The company is investing around $8 million to acquire 80 trucks in total. These trucks include systems to prevent litter from falling during transport, improving waste collection. The additions aim to address Yaoundé's waste crisis following Isacam's recent contract renewal after a year-long gap. Within 2 months, Isacam plans to roll out door-to-door waste collection for more efficient management.
However, payment delays remain a major issue, with operations often halted due to unpaid salaries tied to government funding shortfalls. Despite a 2019 waste management tax, inadequate funding and unpaid bills remain challenges.
Tusk is a small charity in eastern Uganda that provides transportation for sick children, pregnant mothers, and others needing healthcare. UNN Field Messenger Diane shares more about its positive impact on the community.
This is Diane, Field Messenger for United Network News, coming to you from eastern Uganda. Today I am on a road trip with UCAB, one of the coordinators of TASK, Transportation Uganda Sick Kids. This service provides children who are in need of transport to hospitals or care facilities on a weekly basis or in emergency cases. Run by a group of heart-centered individuals and sponsored by a group of friends in the United States. On this day, the children with disability and their carers are being taken to a local therapy treatment center. Today's travel was hindered by mud that had come by heavy rain the night before. Roads around the villages are mostly unsealed, and these road conditions are common. We are lucky that Jacob has a 4-wheel drive. We will hear a lot more as he shares about how important this group that has been working together for 13 years is providing a very real need for its community.
Hello friends, my name is Were Jacob. I'm the project manager of one of the tiniest charity within here called TASK. It's just an abbreviation that stands for Transport for Ugandan Sick Children. We don't only transport sick children or sick people, we transport adults and mothers pregnant mothers for healthcare reasons to regional referral hospitals and other hospitals. So we are like an emergency. Through the help of our generous friends from the UK, we call them friends, we call them sponsors or supporters. We do transport on a daily basis people for healthcare reasons, and for the case of today, Thursday, we've transported children for physiotherapy.
And this is the building that is housing the children today, this part of the hospital that assists our young disabled clients. Tell me what is happening here.
Well, as the mothers come, because they are many, they are not attended to. So the protocol is first come, first serve. They follow the line. Now they wait from here. They are served porridge. They enjoy the porridge with their children, their grandchildren. So the other one is the social worker. She makes sure that she does the attendance. She writes whoever attends. So, they're doing a good work.
Absolutely. And how many physiotherapists do we have at the centre?
We have 2 at the centre. That is Alex and Eddie.
Is that enough to meet the community needs, do you think?
Well, not enough, but because of the demands, they can't bring many because they will have to be paid. So that's why they have to bring in the 2.
So in an ideal situation, how many physiotherapists would you like to see at a facility?
Well, still it will depend on the number of the children who are attended to. Because in the ideal situation, it will need 3 children, 1 physiotherapist. Yeah.
And this young patient is exercising to stand.
Exactly.
This has been Diane reporting for United Network News from Eastern Uganda. Thank you for watching.
The 2025 Tucson Hemp Festival focuses on hands-on experiences, offering activities like mixing hemp and lime to create blocks, and learning about hemp's use as insulation. UNN Field Messenger Wayne participates in the event and interviews the organizer.
Hello everyone, Field Messenger Wayne here from Tucson. I went to the 2025 Tucson Hemp Festival. They gave us a little class on how to mix hemp and lime to make like hempcrete blocks, which are over here. These ones are seasoned and ready for sale. These ones they just made yesterday, or the day before. Fresh batch of this just got done. It's going to go into the forms. Here's our materials for the day. Getting ready to go in the mixer, and then we're going to make those blocks over there. So this mix compared to yesterday's mix, it bonds better, but it's a different binder that they put in it. Yesterday, if you did that, and then just barely touched it, the whole thing would fall apart. This is a lot stronger, a better binder. And this particular binder is from this company. Taking out one of these bricks that he just made. Back there. Put it over there on the rack to dry. And look at that. Look at that. There. Making a different size hemp block over there. And she's prepping this one to make another brick. So this is what we did yesterday. And we put the hemp lime mixture inside this dollhouse walls to insulate it. This particular blend is not structural, but it's very, very insulating. Today I'm with Michaela, and she is the promoter and the one who put together the Tucson 2025 Hemp Festival, and we're here to ask her how it was going.
Well, I hope it was a success. I think it was. It was 2 days of education lecture series and a lot of hands-on demo work. So I was really hoping that my attendees felt like they left with a lot of good information and also had that experience of getting their hands on hemp, because that's a really special first experience when you touch hemp for the first time. And so I'm just glad I got to give that opportunity, some people would say.
Well, I think you believe that hemp is going to change the world as much as I do?
Yeah.
Yeah? Is that fair?
I do, yeah, absolutely.
And we need more awareness. We need more training. Not just in what you're doing where you're starting to build the bricks to build houses, but we also need to talk to farmers about the method they harvest.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of them, in fact, all of them, are losing on 60% of their actual value because they don't harvest the cellulose.
Right, there are. And it's unfortunate for farmers because right now they either have the choice of harvesting for herd or harvesting for fiber, and they're not getting both. And they really need the opportunity to both get the herd and the fiber. That's what's going to be beneficial for them. That's going to be why they change to that crop. Yeah.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the 2025 Tucson Hemp Festival as much as I have. See you next time.
Hey, I'm Kirsten from Switzerland.
This is Wayne from Tucson.
Hi, my name is Desmond from Ghana.
I am Claudia from Dawsonville, Georgia.
I'm Mikey from Pretoria, South Africa.
Hi, I'm Steve McGrath, Fort McMurray, Alberta, Canada.
People from all around the world are coming together.
Happy day, beautiful world. We are here in a rather small urban garden, and this video is just to show you the joys that we've had in this garden with electric gardening.
When news happens in their area, they show us what's really going on.
We have people in the streets protesting for and against.
At United Network News, our field messengers are changing the face of news.
This is Field Messenger Helen reporting with Nature, and I'm going to talk to you about the bees again.
Take the next step in restoring our planet. Become a UNN Field Messenger today.
Hi, I'm Stephanie from South Africa. If it's going to be, it's up to me.
If it's going to be, it's up to me.
It's up to me.
It's up to me. It's up to me.
It's up to me.
It's up to all of us. We're UNN, and we're taking back the news.
Step into a world of possibilities with New Earth, a groundbreaking series that shines light on holistic ways to live, work, and thrive. Join us weekly to discover new innovative ideas and explore the world around us as we, together, create our future, our New Earth.
In the quiet corners of rural villages and bustling city neighborhoods across India lives a silent crisis, one that doesn't make deadly headlines, but deeply affects the lives of thousands of women. Desertion by their spouses.
Deserted women are those who are abandoned by their husbands, often without legal divorce or explanation, left to navigate life without emotional, financial, or social support. While the numbers are hard to pin down precisely, estimates suggest millions of Indian women are living in such a state, married on paper, but alone in reality. Desertion happens for all kinds of reasons. Sometimes it's about dowry disputes or the birth of daughters. Other times, a husband moves away for work, maybe to another city or even abroad, and just never comes back. In some cases, they start new lives elsewhere, remarrying without telling anyone. The women they leave behind are often left in a strange in-between space, not really married, not divorced, and certainly not supported.
ये मेरे रिलेटिव्स में की है, क्लोज रिलेटिव, और उनके घर से मेरे घर पे रिश्ता आया था। रिश्ता आने के बाद वो मुझे 2 बार देख के गया घर पे। 2 बार देख के जाने के बाद उसने शादी फिक्स की और यूके चला गया। टू टाइम्स उसने विजिटर वीजा किया, डिपेंडेंट वीजा के एवजी उसने विजिटर वीजा किया। और जब थर्ड टाइम मैंने मेरे पापा को बोला कि मुझे कुछ तो गलत दिखाई दे रहा है, जब डिपेंडेंट करना चाहिए तो ये विजिटर नहीं कर रहा है।
Life for these women becomes incredibly tough. Many face financial hardship, especially if they've never worked outside the home. There's a heavy social stigma too. People whisper, make assumptions, or worse, blame the woman for the abandonment. Adding to that burden is the responsibility of raising children alone, with no help from their husbands. Emotionally, physically, or financially, it becomes a daily struggle just to survive. In the eyes of society and even the government, these women often don't fit into any category, and they're not seen or counted in data or welfare programs. They're invisible in the system. And when it comes to legal rights, things get even murkier. Without proper documentation or resources, many of these women can't access the courts or claim maintenance. Some don't even have a formal marriage certificate, which makes everything more complicated.
Santosh Kaur was married for only 15 days when her husband suddenly left for the United States, leaving her behind. 7 years have passed since their wedding, but there is no sign of him. She now lives with her elderly mother and 2 siblings in the town of Ludhiana in Punjab state. Santosh remembers her wedding ceremony, which cost the family 20,000 euros, including the dowry. To raise enough money, her parents mortgaged their house. Santosh is struggling to pay back the loan. She now suffers from a heart condition.
My whole family went into depression, but we didn't show it to one another. All of us used to cry, and nobody cared for me and asked me how I felt. People used to make fun of me by asking, "When is your husband coming back? And when are you going with him?"
Santosh's case is not an isolated one. There are more than 40,000 women across India who are duped into marrying Indian men living overseas. But the northern state of Punjab is the epicenter of abandoned brides in India.
Our NGO has seen an increase in the number of abandonment cases, and we get calls every day from different states. The government is not helping these women. If they were helping, we wouldn't see these women running around with their elderly parents in courts and police stations every day.
Over the years, the Indian government has introduced several measures aimed at supporting women who have been abandoned or deserted by their husbands. While there's no single nationwide program exclusively for this group, a mix of welfare programs, legal provisions, and state-level initiatives offer some relief. NGOs and legal aid groups are also stepping in to help where they can, offering everything from legal advice to emotional support. But it's still not enough.
Behind every deserted woman is a story of broken trust and lost dignity. To truly support them, we need stronger laws, better data, and most importantly, a shift in mindset. Less judgment, more empathy. This isn't just about policy, it's about restoring respect and humanity. Private adoption in the U.S. can be a complicated and emotional process. It's not without its challenges. Issues like fraudulent practices, the high cost of adoption, and the profit-driven nature of some agencies have raised concerns amongst hopeful parents and advocates. These issues highlight the need to protect everyone involved and ensure the child's well-being remains the top priority.
While there are no national statistics, experts say somewhere between 1 and 2 million couples in the U.S. are waiting to adopt. Many are looking for infants, but there just aren't enough babies available. Some turn to international adoption, though that's become more restricted, while others consider the U.S. foster system. However, fostering rarely places infants and can involve a long, complicated process. For those who can afford it, private domestic adoption is another option, but it comes with its own set of challenges. Kirsta Bowman, an adoptee activist, criticizes the adoption industry for exploiting people struggling with infertility and infant loss. She says adoption has become a profit-driven supply and demand business, where agencies charge tens of thousands of dollars for babies, often pricing children differently based on demographics. Birth parents might feel pressured or misled about their options, and adoptive families can face sky-high fees. When money becomes the focus, this life-changing journey risks becoming a transactional process.
Advocates say that money is the root of many of the problems in private adoption.
If you're a legislator and you think, yeah, $50,000 for an adoption, that sounds fine. Seems reasonable. If that's what you think, then you've missed the whole argument about the problem with mixing money with human beings. You've missed the whole argument about how coercive that can be. You've missed the whole argument about how many people that eliminates as possible parents who might make very good parents. You've missed the whole argument about how kids who grow up feel about being commodified. You've missed all of that. This lack of education and understanding is a real problem in trying to get to a better place.
Sociologist Gretchen Sison points out many adoption agencies spend most of their budgets on Google Ads, not on legal fees or supporting birth moms. Some even target pregnant women looking for housing or childcare, redirecting them to adoption services. Others use geofencing to show adoption ads to people visiting Planned Parenthood or abortion clinics, often showcasing adoptive families with big houses and stable lives. This can pressure women into adoption when they were really looking for parenting resources. On the other side, hopeful adoptive parents sometimes face adoption scams. These scams involve someone pretending to be pregnant or planning adoption to gain emotional or financial support, then disappearing. While scams are rare, they leave families heartbroken and out thousands of dollars.
Adopting can be an amazing way to raise a family, but during the adoption process, watch out for scammers.
You know, it's much easier for scammers to kind of hide behind a computer, right, than when they have to meet with people in person. So I feel like that has contributed to an increase in adoption scams.
Nicole Witt is the executive director of the Adoption Consultancy and joins us on the On Your Side podcast. She says one adoption scam that's been around for a while is called the Phantom Mom Scam, and it continues to dupe would-be parents out of a lot of money.
So with international, you might get these cases where somebody's like, oh, I have this child, I need to get them to the U.S. immediately for adoption, I need money for airfare or a visa or whatever.
In reality, there is no birth mother, and the person is nothing more than a scammer playing on the emotions of someone trying to adopt.
How does the scammer target the victim? I mean, it seems like a very small pool available, so how does that happen?
It's these scammers that come across those advertisements or the outreach saying, hey, we're looking for somebody who's interested in placing their baby, and it's very easy for them to target them.
Here are some steps proactive adoptive families can take to avoid scams in their adoption journey. Start with choosing a trusted professional, like an agency or attorney, who can screen prospective birth parents and guide you through the process. Build a relationship with the birth parents to understand their situation better and watch for any red flags. Stay informed by joining online adoption groups to learn about common scams and patterns. Finally, never give money directly. Let professionals handle living expenses to ensure everything stays legal and secure.
The private agencies are just that. They're privately owned, meaning that they have to be licensed just like any other agency, but they set up their own rules. So for example, if you work with agency A, private agency A, and 3 months later you decide, we don't really like them, we want to move over to agency B, we want to take our home study with us, we want to use that home study at agency B. Agency B can say, sorry, we can't take your home study. You have to do your brand new home study through us. Why can they do that? Because they're private agencies. They're privately owned, and they can do that if they want. That's why you'll find that a lot of private agencies don't play really well together a lot of times, and there's nothing you can do to make them change that. Understanding that will help you so much in the long run, because if you do choose to work with a private agency, you'll be able to ask those questions firsthand and say, hey, if we decide to move to another one, will you be okay with that? Will it be a smooth process, or are you going to give us a headache?
Private domestic adoption in the U.S. has some serious issues, like commission-based practices, illegal gag clauses, and troubling trends, such as ads for babies or lower fees based on race. Conversations with adoption professionals, parents, and advocates, along with document reviews, show these problems are widespread.
Advocates suggest major changes to private adoption in the U.S. could be the answer, but progress has been slow, and finding solutions everyone agrees on isn't easy. Some push for federal oversight, but others believe fixes should happen at the state level, like better legal support for birth parents, tracking adoption data, and controlling high fees. So far, most changes make things easier for adoptive parents, leaving birth parents with less support and little awareness of the issue.
From March to August, Trinidad and Tobago welcomed the world's largest sea turtles, the leatherbacks, as they returned to nest on the very beaches where they were born. UNN Field Messenger Sophia takes us on an amazing trip to witness this event.
I am Sophia, Field Messenger for United Network News, reporting for you from Trinidad and Tobago. Today I would like to show you about the significant nature event happening every year in Trinidad and Tobago between March and end of August. I'm talking about the turtle nesting and hatching of the largest of all living turtles in existence, the leatherback turtle. This country hosts some of the largest nesting populations of leatherback turtles globally. Nesting season starts in March, with peak activation from April to June. During this period, countless female turtles return after about 20 years to the same beaches where they themselves have hatched to lay their eggs. The female leatherbacks lay their eggs usually at night, digging large nests in the sand. A single female can lay multiple clutches of eggs during the nesting season, with each clutch containing around 80 to 100 fertilized eggs. It is fascinating to watch these ancient creatures with their huge bodies robbing up to reach a suitable nesting ground above high tide level, digging a deep hole with their exceptionally long flippers, laying their eggs, closing the hole and making several moves to ensure that the actual location of the eggs cannot so easily be found by its trucks before heading back to the safety of the ocean. Leatherback turtles are sensitive to visible light, especially bright white or yellow lights, which can disorient them and interrupt a nesting process. Infrared light is outside the visible spectrum for turtles and allows researchers and ecotourists to observe the turtles without causing stress, disturbances, or altering their behavior. Turtle watching has become a popular ecotourism activity in Trinidad and Tobago, and guided tours ensure minimal disturbances to nesting turtles now. Controlled observation and protection are important because these creatures and their offspring face several challenges. The eggs are vulnerable to predators like dogs and crabs digging them up, seagulls when hatching, and also human poaching was a historically known issue. After about 6 weeks, the little ones start to hatch. When hatchlings are breaking open their eggshells, They typically emerge on the sand surface simultaneously in a group effort, which helps them to actually break through the final layer of sand. And then they begin their race to the sea. The survival rate of leatherback hatchlings is extremely low, with estimates suggesting that only 1 in 1,000 to 1 in 10,000 survive to adulthood. It is so interesting to know that they have a magnetic navigation. Hatchlings imprint on the magnetic field of their birth beach, which helps them returning to the same beach as adults to nest in about 20 to 25 years. See you again then.
At UNN, you are the news. Get involved by joining our weekly Field Messenger meetings. Visit unitednetwork.earth to learn more. Remember, if it's going to be, it's up to me.